Right, good afternoon. In the last class, we started to create electronic databases. So for creating an electronic database, you need a software, application software called database management system, right? You need a database management system for creating an electronic database. So there may be several DBMS used in computers, but we have selected Microsoft Access, right? MS Access for creating databases. Right, so in the last class, we have created a database, and inside the database, we also created a table, right? So hope everyone remembers that idea. A table should be kept in a database, or in other words, a database may have many tables, right? More than one table is possible. So since that was the first class, we created a single table with 3 or 4 fields, and also be able to add some data, be able to create, insert some data. Okay, so I'm not going to create a new table today because it takes some time to create a new table. So let me modify the existing table which we created on the other day, right? So we created the table for storing students' data, right? So let's open that table again and modify some data. Okay, right. So without further introduction or further explanation, I straightly go to that particular table and open that and make some modifications. Okay, okay. Let's have a look at that. Right. So our table has already been created. That should be saved in our hard disk. So as you know, hard disk may have several partitions, right? So there may be a number of ways to open your database. The first one is going to the right location directly and open that. If it is in E drive, go to the E drive, right? You know, all the partitions are available in computer. If you are using Windows 10, that must be named as this PC. In Windows 7, it is computer. In Windows 10, it's this PC. Go to the this PC, and if your database is saved in local disk E, open that, right? So you can find your database. There may be so many files here, so you can find it. This is one way, right? So here you have an access file, so it may be that one, right? So okay, that is one way. What is the first way? Going to the location directly and open. The other way, that may be simple. Open your Microsoft Access, right? Open a new Microsoft Access. So go to the Start, Programs, and find the folder Microsoft Office, because Microsoft Office is the folder which has Microsoft Access, right? So click on it. And now you have number of packages or number of softwares. Click on Microsoft Access, right? Okay. Now, right now, we have that interface. So we already, faced this interface on the other day. This is the interface for creating a new database. Look here, blank database. After selecting the blank database, you have to give a file name, which means a database name, and then click on create. This is for creating a new database. But now the database is there, right? We have an existing database. So I'm going to use my existing database. So don't select the blank database or give a file name. So look at the left side, right? So on the left side, you have recently created tables or databases. Not table, actually, databases. Look at the list. There are some databases listed. All of them are recently created or recently opened, right? So here our database must be found, must be listed. Okay, this is one way. Or even if your database is not listed here, go to the File tab and open, right? See, there is an option called Open. So you can click the Open, and also you can see now, browse your drive, select your drive. So if it is E drive, select it and find your database. This is also possible. Okay, but now I'm not going to use that because my database is listed here. So hope you remember the name, right? This is the name which I have given, XYZDB. This is my database, right? Double click on it. Okay, now the database has been opened. So look at the title bar, it shows XYZDB. So this is my database. Inside of this database, we have a table, right? The name of the table is student. Double click on the table to see the data. Now the data are in this table, but they are not visible, right? So just double click and see that. Now you can see admission numbers are there, student names, age, fee, and also date of birth. Okay, you have date of birth. Right. Listen, before we add some new fields, I can add in any field anytime. Even I can add the right codes, right? Okay. Before adding some new fields, let me make some changes in the format of fees. Look at the fees. Now the current format is LKR 1000, LKR 500. So you have a symbol there, LKR Sri Lankan rupee, and then the value, right? So that format can be changed. If you don't want LKR, and instead of having LKR, if you want RS, right, the traditional one rupees, that is possible. Even if you want to have currency without having a symbol like LKR or RS, only value, that is also possible. Even if you want dollar symbol, possible. Okay, let's make some changes in the format of fees first. Okay, right. To make any changes in the field, you must go to the other view. Remember the view, right now we are in the data sheet view of a table. There are two views for table. First of all, the table has to be designed, that is design view. So designing the table is creating the fields along with the data type, right? So once a table is designed, you have to switch the view to data sheet view, the present view, right? The current view that you are watching is data sheet view, right? Okay. So data sheet view is only for adding data. But now I'm not going to add the data. I'm going to make some changes in the existing data or existing field, because the field fee has a format. Look at that, LKR, then the value. Now I want to make some changes. So go to the other view, click the view button, and see there is an option called design view. Click on it. Right. Now look here, the view has been changed. Okay, right. Go to the fee, because that is the one to be changed. Right. Click on the fee. Yes, of course, the currency is the data type. No need for making any changes, because it is a value related to money, so must be currency, right? But we don't want that format LKR, we want another format. So after selecting this fee, go to the field property, right? Keep an eye on the mouse movement. So there is something called field properties under this fields. So after selecting this fee, go to the field property. There may be a number of field properties. You know, properties are nothing, they are characteristics, right? They are the characteristics, or they are the features of these fields. See, fee is one of the fields. So that field has some characteristics. They are listed under field properties. Now we want to change the format, right? We don't want any other changes. We want only that change. So click on the format. You can click on the currency right here. Click on it. Now see, there is an arrow found on one side, right? I click on the format, or I clicked on the currency and got a arrow there. Click the arrow. Now see, you have some formats, different formats to be applied for currency. You can see that, see, 3, 4, this is a sample figure given, sample figure. So now this is only value, decimal point and cents. And see LKR there, euro there. So you can find it. Okay, okay. I want this format, standard format. Right, so I select the standard format now. Go to, now, okay, the format has been changed. Look at the output and then we will discuss. To see the output, to see your data, you must switch the view, right? So go to the datasheet view. Every time when you make a change, it asks to save the table, right? Because I made a change in the format. So definitely I have to change that. Sorry, I have to save that. Click on this yes button. Do you want to save the table now? Okay, yes, click. Right. Now look at the fees. Right now the fees doesn't have that LKR symbol. It has the standard format. According to the standard format, the value is given, but 1000 is separated by a comma. You can see that, right? 1000 rupee, there is a comma next to one. So if I type 20,000 rupee, let me type 20,000. You can see that. Now look here, 20, then comma, because there is a comma for each thousands, right? So 20,000. And also you can see the cents there. That is the format of that standard. Have you understood? Even if you don't want and want another format, go back to the design view again and select the fees and go to the format. Now look at the format, it is standard. Click the arrow and you have some options. Okay, so look at the general number. Now the general number seems to be standard, but there is no comma for separating the 1000. Look here, I select that and now go to the datasheet view. Exactly same, right? Almost same, and you don't have any comma and cents there. So that is also another format. Have you understood? So you can select the one that you want. Okay. So here, if it is LKR, select it. But I must tell you one more thing. See, suppose if you practice this one in your computer, you may not have this LKR format in your access, right? So you may have standard format, you may have a dollar format or euro, maybe general, but you don't have this LKR because some of the currency settings or some of the symbols depend on computer setting. So if you are using Windows operating system, the currency format, maybe time format, date format, those formats can be set in OS. So if you want LKR or RS or something, definitely you need to add them because Access is a software developed by Microsoft. So that Microsoft doesn't include all the values there. It has only some of the common symbols like dollar, right, euro, and some common money format. But if you want your national rupee or national LKR, you have to select that in OS. So now look here, I want to show you how to change the money value, how to change the symbol, right? Currency symbol. So for that, you have to go to the control panel because all the settings of your computer are found in control panel. So go to the control panel. So here I have the control panel. If you are using Windows 10, definitely control panel is there. So click on the control panel. Okay. Now there are many options available. Find the option called region and language, right? Regions, which means areas, and languages. So click on the region, right? Okay. Now look at this tab, format. We are in the format tab. There are some tabs on the top. The currently activated tab is formats. So under this format, you have some date format, short date, long date. We will discuss the date later. So we want some changes in the currency, right? So click on the additional settings, right? Additional settings. Now you can see there are 4 tabs on the top, numbers and then currency. Okay, click on the currency. Have you understood? So now I want currency. So here currency symbol, right? Currency symbol. You can type your own symbol there. If you want to type RS, just select this and you can delete that also and type RS. Okay, currency symbol, you can type your own symbol. Right, now click the apply button and OK. It's very simple, isn't it, right? Just type the format and click OK. Now go and check that design view. right? So select the fees and click the currency. Right, now you can find that RS there. Earlier it was LKR. Now look here, the currency format is RS. Select that. And now go to the datasheet view and see the output. Look here, it is RS. Rupees is shown there. RS 1000, RS 500, RS 700. So this is how format is changed. Okay. So some formats are available in the design view. Right, you can see the list and change it. If your preferred format is not found here, go to the control panel and click on region and language and find the tab currency, right? And you can make the change. Okay, so this is how, right? This is how we set the format for currency. Okay, right. So actually these are not important for your exam, right? Never be asked, but I'm taking some time to show them because it may be useful for your day-to-day life, right? Maybe not now, maybe in the future, right? So try practicing. Those who have computers definitely should practice them. Okay, right. Look at the date of birth now. So now we are able to change the format of currency. Okay, now go back and see the date of birth format. Right, look here, 14 January 90. So according to this format, the date comes first, then the month, but month is not shown in numbers. This is expressed in letters, maybe first 3 letters, and then the year. And also year doesn't have the full format, it has only whether it is 90 or 20 or something, right? So it doesn't show 1999 or 2000. It shows the only that particularly important part, right? Okay. But if you want to have another format, another date format, that is possible. Go to the design view. Don't forget, whenever you need a change in the field, it must be design view, right? Okay, select the date of birth because we are going to make some changes in the date of birth. So that's why it has been selected. Right, here also go to the format, but note this time it's not fees, it is date of birth. So date of birth is set for date or time. Now the formats are available for date or time. If you select the fees, right, if you select the fees, the data type is currency, so definitely the formats are related to currency. But now the field which has been set is DOB, which means date of birth. Look at the data type, that is date or time. So definitely formats belong to date or time. Okay, click here, click after medium date, and now you can see the same arrow here. Click on it. Right, look here. Now you have various date formats, right? There may be several dates. So, okay, let me take this short date. According to this short date, year comes first. Then what is it? Then the month, and finally date. So those who want to keep this format, select that and go back to the datasheet view, and now you can see that. Okay, 1991 14. 2020 11. Now the format has been changed. Okay, let me add a new date now. Okay, there is a date of birth, like, okay, let me give today's date like okay, 2020 11 is already there. Okay, give me another one. Let me type 23rd. Okay, don't put any hyphen or something while typing, leave a space. 23 space. Okay, it is January, so type 01. Okay, then let me type 2020 or something. Okay, so you don't need to type in the same order that you have in the format, right? According to the format, you have year first, then month, then date. But when you type, you can type your date first, then month second, and then year. Now press the enter key. Look here, that has been changed, right? Your date of birth, right, has been changed according to the current format. I type 23/1/2010. Now that has been changed as 2010/1/23. Have you understood? This is how the dates are added. Even if you add another one, even you can take the calendar there, right? There is a calendar available. You can pick the date. This is very simple. All the years can be found. All the months can be found. You can adjust that. Look here. Even years can be taken there. Okay, 2019, 12, right? So for changing another format, changing to another format, go to the design view, right? So you can pick another one. Okay, let me take this one, long date. See, there is an option called long date. Check the date, the day there, day is first, then the month, then what is it, date there, and finally year. Select that and see the data sheet view. Okay, now look here. So it shows like several hash symbol because the width of the column is not sufficient because the data is too lengthy. That width is not sufficient. So that's why you can see some symbols. So try adjusting. You can take the mouse pointer there and drag, right? Drag. Okay, now see, you can see the data. Look at that. So Sunday, January 14, 19. Look at the last data which I have added, Wednesday, December 4, 2019. Okay, so you can change the date to any format like you set the currency, right? Currency has formats, even dates have formats. Okay, right. So these are the things to be noted, right? The formats are important when it is done in practical. Okay, now we can continue. Listen, I want to delete some records. They are not meaningful. That's why I'm deleting. Right. So let's go to the design view and set the date as, let me take this one, right? Okay, short date. Right. So we have admission number, we have data, student name, age, fees, and date of birth, finally date of birth. Okay, right. Look here, for admission number, we set number as data type. For student name, we use text as data type. For age, again number because we have numbers there. For fee, it is not number because fee is related to money, so it is currency. Date of birth is always related to date. So, but here in Access, there is no single data type called date. It is a combination date or time, right? So that is applicable for date as well as time, right? Okay, right. So, right, but MS Access has more than these data types, right? We have how many data types we applied? 1, 2, 3, 4, right? We applied 4 data types, okay? But MS Access has number, right? Maybe around 10 or 11 data types available. I'm not going to use all these 10 data types, but let me show some of the data types, some of the most commonly used data types. Okay, right. So as we discussed earlier, we have 5 common data types. We have text that has already been applied. Yes, we have number applied. We have currency, yes, applied. And we have date or time, we applied. In addition to these 4 data types, we have Boolean, right? Boolean is another data type. What is Boolean? So Boolean is a data type applied for the fields which have only yes or no data. I repeat it, Boolean data type is only applicable for the fields which have true or false or yes or no. Okay, right. So let's add another field here in order to set Boolean as data type. Okay, let me type like qualified in scholarship examination, in grade 5 examination. Grade 5, like a question. This is my field name, right? Qualified in grade 5, note there is a question mark there at last. So now imagine this is a field, right? This is a field. So definitely in this field, you may have or you should have yes or no, because it seems to be a question. Qualified in grade 5, qualified in scholarship exam. So definitely if a student qualified, you must type yes. If a student didn't qualify, you must put no, right? Okay. So Since you have yes or no data there, it is not good to select text. Yes, it seems to be text, but don't select text, because if it is text, you have to type yes, yes, no all the time. It definitely kills your time. So rather than selecting the text, go and select Boolean. But here, Access doesn't have Boolean in the name of Boolean. It has the data type in yes, no format. Yes, no is nothing, it's Boolean, right? Select that. It's very simple, right? So qualified in grade 5, yes, no. This is the only setting that you have to do here in the design view. Go back to the datasheet view, because I want to add the data now, right? Go there, save your table, right? Now look here. Now you can see that field now. There is a newly added field there, qualified in grade 5. See, there is a box appeared. This is called checkbox. This kind of a boxes are called check boxes. So if Vimal is qualified, just put a tick. You can tick that, right? There is a tick inside of the box. So what does it mean? It means yes, right? Vimal qualified that exam, so I put the tick. Tick means yes. If Kumar doesn't qualify, keep that as untick. Now that is not ticked, right? So that is untick. So that means no. If Meena passed the exam, just put a tick. That is yes. This is how yes and no are displayed in Access, right? If it is ticked, it means yes. If it is unticked, it means no. Okay, so this is next data type, Boolean, but here in Access, Boolean is known as yes or no. Okay, right. Right, let's add another one. Okay, before I add another one, let me show one more thing here. See, look at the second data type, memo. Memo. Look here, text, memo. These two data types are almost similar, right? Almost similar. But there is a significant difference between text and memo. So I just mentioned that both are similar because both text and memo are used for letters, numbers, maybe symbols. So when you want to store text, you can use text, even memo. Whenever you want to use text along with the number, like when you write address, you know, number is there and also letters there. For at that situation, text is applicable, even memo is applicable. So in some instances, you write all these three. You write as a combination, right? Letters there, numbers there, symbols there. Even in that case also, you can use text or memo. Okay. So what is the difference between text and memo? The only difference is the data type text is used only for short text, which means when you want to insert less number of letters, like take a look at your name may have few characters, maybe 5, maybe 6, maybe 20, maybe 10. So this is not big, right? This is not lengthy. So this is called short text. For short text, the best or the perfect data type is text. But when your data is too long, right? When your data is too lengthy, use the data type memo, right? So memo is for lengthy text. For example, see here, assume I have another data type, another field like achievement. Achievement, this is my data type. So now imagine if a student has so much achievements to be expressed, definitely he or she has to type like a paragraph because she or he has achieved several things. So definitely she or he has so many things to be expressed. So now it is lengthy text. So generally, if it is text, right, if you are using text, it can be up to 255 characters, right? If you use text, it can be up to 255. So your name, your address, right? Some short text can use text. But if you are expressing achievements, maybe your personal information, so biodata or something, definitely text is impossible because text has a limitation. It is limited to 255. So in this instance, better to use memo. Questions can be asked in exams, right? So memo text same, text has short text up to 255, but memo has lengthy text. If you are using MS Access new versions like 2013 or maybe after 2013, the text is named as short text. In my case, I'm using Microsoft Access 2010. So in 2010 version, this is named as text. But if you use some latest versions, this text is named as short text, right? Text, short text, same. But they give different names because the versions are different. Here in 2010, it's memo, right? Lengthy text is called memo. But I think in the latest versions, memo is labeled as long text, right? Text is named as short text. Memo is named as long text. Okay? Hope you got that point. Okay? So if it is achievements, the best one is memo because sometimes you need to write so many things under achievement. Okay, so this is the idea. So achievement there, so achievement must have memo. But for short text you can type text. Okay, right. Next one. As I mentioned earlier, there may be so many data types possible, around 10, around 11, right? Around 11 or 10 there, but here I have used only few, right? Maybe 4 or 5, right? So let's take another one. I'm introducing the data types one by one. Up to now we have introduced 5 or 6. Okay, right. Let's see. Here you have another one called what is it? Auto number. See, there is another one called auto number. Auto number, almost similar. But if it is number, okay, before I explaining that, let me show one example. Right. So look at the table now. You have some records. In fact, we have 3 records. So assume this table has hundreds of records. Right? There may be hundreds of records. So if you have hundreds of records, sometimes you need to find the person's place, whether that person is listed as 4th place or 10th place or 100. So that is important because here admission number is not in an order, right? It never be a serial number. It is a number given as random. So suppose if you want to order them, definitely you need a serial number, right? Something like serial number is important. So let's add a serial number, right? Let me add a serial number in front of this admission number, because serial number to be added at the beginning, then only it becomes meaningful. Okay, so I want a serial number field. It's a field, but at the beginning. So go back to the design view. Okay, so let's add a new field before admission number. So you may right click there, right click and click on insert rows. There is an option called insert rows. Click on it. Now type the name serial number. Serial number. Okay, right. And also select the data type like auto number. Okay, auto number. Go back and check the data sheet view. Now look here. Suppose if you select number for serial number, you need to type every number one by one. Right? You don't have any other option. You have to type every number one by one. But now auto number has been set as data type for serial number. So since it's an auto number, you don't need to type them one by one. It can be automatically added. Okay, I didn't type the 1, or I didn't type the 2, even 3. So when I start typing another record, look here, I'm typing another record. Now keep an eye on the serial number. Now a new number is added. So auto number, as the name implies, it can automatically be added. You don't need to type the numbers, you don't need to add the numbers, numbers can automatically be added. Okay, so that is auto number. Hope you understood that one. I'm not going to explain that one in another example. This is enough. Okay, auto number. So it would be better to have a serial number in the front as a front column, because to count the numbers or maybe for ordering, so it would be better, because admission numbers or some other things never have values in order. Okay, right, so let's add another one. Right, so we have fees there. Let me add another fees there in order to show one more example. Let me take this as fees 1. Listen, fees 1, and I want another fees, which is fees 2. Right? So hope or assume this every student had to make 2 payments. Right? Fees 1, maybe fees 2. There may be a fees for your facilities fees or maybe another fees. So that's why we have fees 1 and fees 2. That is also currency. Okay, both of them are currency. And go to the view and take the data sheet view. Right, so as you can see, we have fees 1 and fees 2. Let me type some fees there for student. Let me type 500, maybe 1000. It works according to the format, right? The format has already been set. That's why RS is there. Let me type 2000. Okay, let me add another record there, like Ravi or something. Right, Ravi, student name, age, right, like 13 or 16. The fees 1, like 650, and fees 2, 450 or something. Okay, and also date of birth. Right. Look. So now the reason for having these 2 fees is I want to add the 2 fields together, 2 fees together, and show a total fee as next column. Right. So look here, this is fees 1, fees 2. So if it is Vimal has made 2 payments, 1000 rupees and also 500. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add these 2 fields together and show that value, which means 1500, right? 1500 in another field. So go to the design view and add another field. Right click and insert rows. Okay, this is total fees. Total fees. Have you understood? So I want to add the 2 fees together and show the total, maybe sum in the next column. For not only for the first person, for each and every person, I need to find the total fee. So even in the total fee column, total fee field, you will have currency, definitely, because your fees 1 is currency, fees 2 also currency. When 2 values which belong to currency are added, the result also found in currency. But if you select currency here as data type, right? If you select currency as data type, definitely you have to type the total fee 1 by 1. You have to find it. You have to calculate it. So this is tough because when you calculate the sum, definitely you may make mistakes, right? So rather than calculating that, you can calculate them automatically, which means your Microsoft Access can calculate that without your interaction, right? So let's see how to do that. So total fees, I'm not going to select currency, because if I select currency, I know I'm going to add every currency 1 by 1. In fact, I have to calculate. So rather than going with currency, select this one, calculated. This is another data type, calculated. It's a special data type. Click on it. As soon as you clicked or you selected, see there is a dialog box appeared. expression builder. Look at the title bar, expression builder. So here you can type some expressions, which means you can type simple formula for finding your total. That is expression. You are going to build, right? You are going to build a formula. You can follow the example. Look at the example. So if you want to add the field 1 and field 2, type field 1 plus field 2. So if you add two fields together, definitely the result is found. In my case, listen, in my case, my first field is fees 1. The second field is fees 2. I'm going to add these two fields, right? So now all the fields are here, right? All the fields are listed. Double click on the fees 1. Even you can type here, right, by using a square bracket and type fees 1. That is okay. But there is no need. Just double click on fees 1. You can see that, right? Now fees 1 is there. I'm going to add the data, so put a plus. If it is subtraction, put a minus symbol. If it is multiplication, put the asterisk. Then what is the other field to be added? Fees 2, right? Again, double click on fees 2. Now you can see that I have built a small formula, right? I have built a small expression, fees 1 plus fees 2. That is enough. Click OK, right? Right. Now go back and check your datasheet view. Look at the total fee. See that the field total fees is already been filled, right? I didn't fill that, right? I didn't find that. Look here, 1,000 for Vimal. The first fee is 1,000, second fee 500. So look at the current total fee, 1,500. 500,000 again 1,500. 700, 2,000, 2,000. So there is no need for manually adding them, right? They are automatically added. They are automatically added because we have written a small formula there. We have written a small expression. That is the one which added them, right? So like that, you can find the total fee for all the students. But remember, this Microsoft Access is not for calculation, right? So we have spreadsheet software for calculation, right? Like Excel, but this is not for calculation. This is only for storing the data and retrieving. But while storing and retrieving, this can perform some basic calculations. Not all the complex calculations, right? It can perform some basic calculations. This is one of them, right? Showing the total or sum. Okay, right. So go back to the design view again, right? So up to now we used text, we used memo, yes, we used number, and also date or time, currency, auto number, yes, no, calculated. Let me show one more data type, right? I don't think that the others are important, but better I show lookup wizard. That may be sometimes important. Okay, right. Let's type another data, another field like gender. Gender. Look, if it is gender, definitely male or female. These are the only two data repeated again and again and again. Have you understood? Because you may have hundreds of records there, maybe thousands of records there, doesn't matter. Every student may belong male or female. So in this case, it is not good to have text because, yes, of course, it is text because look at the shape, it is male. So it is text. Letters are always text. But if you declare text as data type for gender, definitely you have to sit down and type male, female, male, female, male, female again and again and again. Again, it takes time. You know, while you are creating a database, you should consider the time. That is important, right? So it takes time. If you set text as data type, definitely it takes time. So since I know my data, since the data are defined, I'm not going to use the text. I'm going to use a data type called lookup wizard, right? Lookup wizard. Click on it. When you click, you have a small dialog box. Such dialog boxes are often called wizards. So wizard means here you need to take some steps, maybe multiple steps, in order to complete a task. Here I have to fulfill a small task there because I have to type male and female as gender. That is my task. To to successfully complete that task, I need some steps. This is my first step. So when some tasks are carried out or completed in steps, they can be called wizards, right? So here, look at the first step here. You have two options. Select the second option. I'm not going to explain the first option. Look at the second option. I will type in the values that I want, right? So which means here I have values. What are the values? Male, female. These are the two values. So according to this option, it means as a creator, as a designer, I need to type those two values, male or female. So after selecting that, click on next. It immediately asks your values. So type male and female. Male in one box and female in another. Right? Have you understood? I am giving the values to be entered in gender. But this is only possible when the values are defined, well known, right? They are defined, well known. Because here, male, female, I know that. But for something like student name, you cannot use lookup wizard because students' names cannot be defined, cannot be defined in a certain range. So anyone can have any name. But if it is a gender, definitely you have only two choices. So that's why I have selected lookup wizard. Select them and click next. Finally finish. Okay. So I have selected lookup wizard for gender because that gender only has male or female, right? So now go back to the data sheet. Okay, right. Now you have gender there. Keep an eye on the gender. So the first person is Vimal. So he is male. So click on the cell there. Now you can find a box, sorry, arrow, right? There is a down arrow found. Click on it. And now see the data that you have typed in lookup wizard are listed. Now all you need to do is select the value, just male. You don't need to type it, right? Just select it. So second one, Kumar. So click on it and find the arrow and select male. Third one, Meena. Again, click it. She is female. Select it. Ravi, again male. So this is only selecting the data. But if it is typing, definitely you have to spend some time. You may think that male and female, those words do not have much letters. Of course, that is correct. It doesn't take much time. But think about some other instances. For example, assume you are, maybe these are students' data, right? So assume there is a field called house, your school house, right? The house in which you belong. So, in your school houses, some houses have lengthy name. So if a student belongs to one house, if it is lengthy, you need to type that. If you are using text as data type, you have to type that. But if you are using lookup wizard for house, you can select that. For house, lookup wizard can be used because there is predetermined houses, right? You have only 5 or 4 houses, right? Even for classes. So you may belong to a class there, right? 11A or 10A or 10B. So we can create all the classes in lookup wizard. If a student belongs to 10B, just select 10B. Okay. So understand the situation where we use a lookup wizard, right? You cannot use lookup wizard for all the cases or for all the fields. So if some data are only repeated again and again, If the data are well known, right, better use lookup wizard. But otherwise you cannot. For something like address, you can't. For fees, you can't, right? For date of birth, you can't. But if they are certain things, if only certain things are repeated again and again, better go with lookup wizard. Okay, so this is the application of lookup wizard. Right. Right. So now we have a simple table with some data, right? 4 records. But note, at the time when we created the table on the other day, at the last time, we didn't set the primary key. Microsoft requested me to set the primary key at the time when I created the table, but I ignored that. I didn't set the primary key. But as a student who understood the database, you know that having a primary key is very important, because primary key is the one which identifies the record. So you must have the primary key, right? So let's set the primary key first. It's very simple. Go to the design view there. Remember, whenever you need to set anything, you have to go to the design view. It may be adding a field, new field. It may be changing the data type of a field. It may be deleting some fields. Anything should be done in design view. Okay, right. So among these fields, admission number could be the candidate for primary key, because that has the eligibility. Serial number may be, but serial number doesn't make any sense, right? Because that is not actually, that is not a meaningful field. Fields are nothing, they are the characteristics of the data. See, you are storing the students' data there. So some behaviors of the students are listed as fields, like admission number, name, age. These are my characteristics, these are my features, but not the serial number. So never, don't select serial number as primary key because it has unique data, right? So don't select it, select the admission number. It's very simple. Select the admission number and click on the primary key, right? There, see, there is an icon there. Just click on it. Now you can see a key icon, right? You can see a small key icon at the beginning. So which is an indication for primary key. Okay, but not all the other fields have that icon. Only admission number has icon. So which means that is the primary key. Go to the datasheet view. Right now, admission number is the primary key. So since it is the primary key, it never accepts duplication, right? Let's practice, or let's check that whether it allows the duplication. I want to type 1001 again. See, note that 1001 has already been added, right, for women. But by mistake, I typed the 1001 again. I can't give the 1001 for the other student, but I made a mistake and tried to enter the 1001 again. It seems that it accepts. Okay, let's see. Type a name, right? Type a name like Ruan or something, or no one. This is the name. And you may give an age there. Okay, right. So now give an age there. You can type a, right? You can type a fees there. Another fees. Everything can be. It seems to be okay. Date of birth. Give a date of birth. Right, and you can select that. Even male, female can be. Right, select male. Right, look here. Now I have added this data, but it seems that the data has been added. You all may think that the data has been added. Okay, so now let's, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another record, which means I'm going to move to the another row, right? So to go to the another row, you may simply click on the other row or press the tab key. Both are possible. Press the tab key or click. Okay, I press the tab key because I'm going to enter another record. Let's see. Right. When I press the tab key, it shows a message. What is it? Read it. The changes you requested to the table were not successful because they would create duplicate values. That's enough. What is it? The changes that you requested. What is the change? This one, last record, right? The last record is the one which I have added. That is my change. The change is not successful because it creates a duplication value. So access tells me that the last record is not successfully added because it has a duplicate record, because access find it because of the 1001, right? Because admission number has already been set as primary key. Primary key never have duplications. So when I enter the same data again, Microsoft thinks that it is a duplication and never ever allow this data. It seems that it is added, but not, because when I go to the next record, it never allows it. Even if you want to go to the design view, it never allows. You cannot make any changes. Even you can't save this, right? You cannot save this because it is duplicated. Only if you want to save, or if you want to go to the other view, definitely you need to change the number. Then only it allows. See, now I type 1004. Now let's click on the other record. Now it works. Have you understood? So since it's a primary key, it must not have null value. Sorry, not null, duplication. I will explain about null too, but this is duplication. Have you understood? Definitely it must be unique. So this is how the primary key is set. I will show you again. If you don't want a primary key, do the reverse action. Select it and click the primary key. Now see, primary key has been removed. To get the primary key, select this and click on the primary key icon. Even you can right click and select the primary key. That is also possible, right? Okay, this is very simple to set the primary key. After setting the primary key, you must be very careful when you are entering the data, because primary key field never have empty or null value, and also it cannot have duplication. I explain about duplication today, but not shown that null value, but I will show that null value in the maybe coming class. Okay, listen to me. So look, I have taken some time to explain about how to create table, but I'm not going to take much time to explain table again, because I thought that they are not important for the exam. So spending time in table is actually useless, but you should have a basic. That's the one which I expected. So hope I have given a basic to you. Use the basic, use this idea and apply them, and then you can create some tables. Okay. So MS Access has some objects. The primary object is table. There are some other objects like query, form, report. You remember I used these terms earlier, right? These are called database objects. These objects are for handling the data. Look here, table is the primary object, because what is the purpose of having a table? It is for storing the data, right? But if you want to retrieve the data, it is not table. See, assume you have all the data in the table. Suppose if you want to see only female students, right? All the data in the table, but you want to see only female students. This is a kind of retrieval. But in this case, you cannot use the table. So definitely you have to go with some other objects like query, form, report. So in the next class, I will explain the other objects, query, form, report, not as deep, but I will try to give an outline, maybe their purpose, and also I will show how to create them. But again, I tell you, not as table, right? Because for table, I spent 2 days, almost 2 days, but for those 3, I will take only a single class to show all these things. Okay. So enough for today. Practice them. If you have computer, it would be better to practice and create a small table or maybe a database and set all these data types. Okay, that's enough for today. We will meet in the next class. Thank you.